Hey guys, it's Dominique Nicole here, and today I'm going to do something a little bit differently. Generally, I respond to these questions on my Facebook page directly, but I wanted this to be, I don't know, a little more fun and personable. So I'm going to start doing this by video as often as I can. So today, a member of one of my communities on Facebook asked me a really great question that I was so excited to actually respond to, because I see this come up all the time in people's lives. And there's a couple buzzwords here within her message that you might pick up on that really inspired me to want to reach out. And for the sake of anonymity, I'm going to call her Malaya. So Malaya, your question today is, I have met the most amazing man that completes me 100%. The problem is, I've been divorced twice and I'm traumatized. How can I keep this from ruining the best thing that's ever happened to me? That is a great question, and again, I'm so glad that you asked it, because it gives me the opportunity to talk about the biggest misconception that one of the greatest movies of all time, Jerry Maguire, has led us to believe, and that is that our counterpart should complete us. Now, I always get a little bit concerned when I hear that, and there's a couple of reasons for that. You were married twice, 2 different relationships, and my guess is, just based on something else that you liked on my page with regard to narcissisms, was that perhaps you were involved in, if not 1, perhaps 2 narcissistic men in your marriages. Narcissistic men love to prey on empaths, and I shouldn't just leave it at narcissistic men, because there are just as many women that are guilty of this characteristic as well. But they love to prey on men and women that have very little boundaries. They're very accommodating. There's not much they wouldn't do for them. They're very supportive, emotionally and physically, and really aim to please their partner. And honestly, those are all some very pure, amazing qualities. The problem we run into is when you don't have those boundaries for yourself and expectations for your own level of care and emotional requirements and fulfillment in a relationship, we can oftentimes get abused by these very people. And so what I would have to say about that is this: how much time have you spent reflecting on the end of your first marriage and also the end of your second marriage, and how might have you contributed in some way to the breakdown of those relationships? And I like to ask that question because I always think after a major breakup, it's important to step away for a while and do some real self-work. And when I say self-work, it's just really taking the time to sit in discomfort with the pain that you feel after a breakup. And then as time goes on, really trying to dig in and figure out what your role was, again, in that relationship and the breakup of that relationship. Did you find that maybe you gave up too much of your time for this person? You were always available for this person. Maybe you stopped talking to your friends and the people that you really care about. Maybe you stopped going to your yoga classes or exercising or other things that were really important to you at one point in time, and probably the very things that drew him to you in the first place. So if you were to go back and look at your life when you met this person, it sounds to me like maybe it wasn't complete because you were relying on this person to complete it for you. So I'm here to tell you today the importance of really building a big life for yourself, and getting to a place where you're really, really happy and content with your life. You're spending time with your girlfriends, you're going out, you've got hobbies, you've got interests, and really the relationship that you seek at the end of the day is just going to be icing on the cake. And when we get to that place, we're capable of having a more healthy relationship, because we can pick up on things that go against our value systems very on before we even get into a relationship, so to speak, and transition from dating into that. And we can turn that person away, and that is called high value, and that is something that all of us should have. Self-love is so much more important than external love, and until you're able to fully love yourself, your flaws and all your beautiful characteristics, traits, and qualities, it's going to be very hard for somebody else to truly love you. So I would challenge you to look at your life now, figure out how much time you spent between your last marriage and this new relationship that you're in, and obviously care a lot about, and see if you've really done the work and if you're really ready to progress this to the next level. That being said, one other thing I want to leave you with that I feel is really, really important. Trust is a very important piece of any relationship. You know, it's the foundation of any long-lasting, healthy relationship. But more important is your ability to trust yourself. So when I say that, what I'm really asking you, or telling you, I guess, is it that you're afraid to trust your heart with this person? What I'd really like for you to do is get to the place where you can trust that even if it didn't work with this partner, and you had a full life, and you didn't give up the things that were really important to you, and you're healthy, your relationship was truly healthy this time around. The bigger question is, and you know, the bigger point is, you need to really trust yourself to know that even if this relationship doesn't work out, you're gonna be okay. You know, you're gonna be just fine. And if you can answer those questions and say, yeah, I've done the work. I love myself. I feel really good about who I am now. I feel secure. I feel confident. Then by all means, go for it. Of course, we're always going to keep one eye open when we've been hurt before. But I also believe that every relationship deserves a clean slate. So if you're coming from a place where you are whole and healthy and you are ready for this relationship, again, it's not so much about trusting that partner with your heart as it is trusting yourself that regardless of what happens, you are going to be just fine.